This is DJ Dr. Chris.
And it's your favorite nurse practitioner, Bree.
Today I'll be talking about dietary fats and migraines.
And I will be discussing postpartum depression.
And after that, we'll pop open the bottle and see what comes out. Are you ready?
So ready.
Okay, Bree, here we are on location, Hampton Social. How you doing?
I'm so excited.
Yeah, I love this place.
I love Hampton Social. It's like one of my favorite places because of the food and the background. The ambiance is really fun and cool. And we decided instead of just like talking about restaurants, like why don't we go to restaurants and record and eat and drink?
Yeah, well, we're sitting outside, so we actually have some decent sound quality here. We hope.
We hope. And the other thing is it's cold.
Yes, this is the time of year. There's like 1 week in Florida, well, South Florida, where it gets to like 40 degrees. That's this week.
And I get to wear my sweaters.
Yeah. All the locals are all bundled up, and all the people that are down visiting are in shorts and flip-flops.
So fun.
All right. So do you want to go?
Yeah, I will start. Okay. So guys, with your weekly dose of BS, I'm going to talk about something pretty serious. I experienced probably what you would consider baby blues, but slight of this, not like full blown, but this is something dealing with mental health this week. And I think it's very near and dear to my heart and other people because I was actually nervous about this before I even got pregnant because of the way my hormones were. So with postpartum depression, according to the Mayo Clinic, it only happens after a woman, or it's triggered after a woman has given birth. It could be a jumble of powerful emotions from excitement and joy to fear and anxiety. And it's not like the normal type of feelings that you would associate depression with. Sometimes this goes undiagnosed, or misdiagnosed as well. So most new moms experience baby blues after childbirth. That's very common. That includes like mood swings, crying spells, anxiety, difficult sleeping. Baby blues usually happen within the first 2 days after birth and then last about 2 weeks. However, with some moms, it can last longer than that. And that is what they would consider as depression and postpartum depression. There is something that is worse than that. It's a little bit further. It's called postpartum psychosis, and that happens after childbirth. That is very rare, but that is the most serious form of the category. I call it like a little triad. Like it's the baby blues, the depression, and then psychosis. It's not something that anyone should be ashamed of. I think people should actually speak on this more often, so that way women know that they are not alone. If you've ever experienced this, I would love for y'all to write me on our Instagram page, send us an email, just so you know you're not alone. And like, I know there's communities out there that you can talk about this with other people. So that way you understand that this is normal. It's a part of the afterbirth. I think they call it the fourth trimester, that like when you're pregnant, like you literally see the doctor all the time. And then when you have the baby, you see them like once at 6 weeks. Like this is something I feel like needs to be brought to life a little bit more. And our, females like help should be more recognized. Cause I know they do those screening tools, but honestly, do you really answer those questions so you're the best of your ability? I know I didn't, because I was nervous that they may think I was depressed and they may take my baby away. That like thought crossed my mind while I was filling out some of those questionnaires. But some of the symptoms of the baby blues, like I said, it could be mood swings, anxiety, sadness, irritability, feeling overwhelmed, crying, reduced concentration, appetite problems, or trouble sleeping. Now with depression, which is a little bit more serious and it lasts a little longer, you hear Ellie, she's over here like, Mom, look at all this stuff that's going on. This is depressed mood or severe mood swings, excessive crying, difficulty bonding with your baby, withdrawing from family and friends, loss of appetite or eating much more than usual, inability to sleep, insomnia or sleeping too much, overwhelming fatigue or loss of energy, reduced interest and pleasure in activities that you used to enjoy, intense irritability and anger, fear that you're not a good mother, hopelessness, feeling of worthlessness, shame, guilt, and inadequacy, diminished ability to think clearly, concentrate, or make decisions, restlessness, severe anxiety or panic attacks, thoughts of harming yourself or your baby, recurrent thoughts of suicide. Um, Pretty much that's like the depression, but that last part with the severe anxiety attack, thoughts of harming your baby or suicide, it also goes on to the psychosis, which is the psychosis, which is very rare, but it is out there and it can happen. That is when you have confusion, disorientation, obsessive thoughts about your baby, hallucinations and delusions, sleep disturbances, excessive energy or agitation, paranoia, attempts to harm yourself or your baby. Psychosis can be life-threatening, and if that happens, you need to be treated, or if you have a loved one that has this, they need to have treatment for sure. So far, so fast. Like there's no like, well, maybe she'll get better. She just needs to sleep. So with that being said, there are resources out there. I know from the Mayo Clinic, like I said, this is where I'm getting my information from. There's a hotline that you can call, talk to a close friend, talk to a minister. Like even, like I said, you can reach out to me and I can give you some of the situations that I had and that I went through. But this is something that I feel like every woman goes through if they have children, and it's just not brought to light that often because a lot of people don't like to talk about depression because they feel like they're weak, and this is not a weakness. This is a chemical imbalance, let me tell you.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate. A lot of the mental disturbances, I guess you could call it, sort of gets. I think people feel guilt about that being that way, and it's like I think it's hard for people outside to understand, and then you think, oh, you can just be over it by now. It kind of gets brushed under the rug a little bit too much. So I'm glad you're bringing this to light. You mentioned something about the follow up with a physician, right? Do you feel like there should be more follow ups? Is that, do you think, part of it? Do you think that'd be more beneficial?
I do. I know it's a lot having a newborn, and I just remember having been like, oh, I don't want to go to the doctor today. Like, I just don't have a chance to get my life together. But there should be more of a follow up. I feel like you should follow up at 4 weeks, you should follow up at 8 weeks, and then you should follow up at 12 weeks. There needs to be more of a follow up. I will say personally, like I said, I'm educated in this. So I know what the questionnaires are looking for. So like when I was filling that out, I was like, I can't say I'm sad, even though I am sad. I can't say that I'm having mood swings, even though I am having mood swings, because I don't want to trigger a flag on my chart. Yeah. And then they think that something's wrong with me and they take my baby girl away from me. So I feel like you should watch your loved one closely. I'm not saying hover over them because they probably need space, but look for signs and symptoms. You should be supportive. That's the whole point of having loved ones around. They're supposed to support the mother in the afterbirth because it's hard. You have all these hormones raging. You don't know what's left from right, up and down. One, you're not sleeping. Two, this person that was inside of you is no longer inside of you. And you're looking at this little human and you're like, who are you? This baby's a complete stranger to you. And that whole moment of like when you first saw your baby, like I cried when I first saw her. And I told my mom this. I said, I love her. And I was like, and she's beautiful. And I know she's mine, but she doesn't feel like she's mine. And yeah, it's a weird feeling.
I know what you mean. I felt like year one was difficult for me, I guess, to bond with Sophie. But now, like, I'm like head over heels, and she can have the world. I think my wife really enjoyed the first year the most. But for me, it was like I wanted to be able to interact more. So I don't know. I think that's normal. I think everyone's got their little stages that you can really.
But for moms, some people, and if you read online, they can make you feel really guilty. because
Yeah.
they make birth seem like this magical thing that happens, and you have this instant connection and overflowing love that you feel when you have the baby. I just don't feel like that happened for me. Like I
Yeah.
said, I love her to death. I have it more now. And now that I'm what, 4 months out, because she's like 4 months old. She'll be 4 months old on Monday. Um, I have a different bond with her now and
Hmm.
a different type of feeling and love for her than I did at day 1, day 2, day 3. It was totally different. And now that I look back, I was in like a baby blues depressional state, and I'm finally getting out of it. And I thank my parents every day, and I thank my mother-in-law, because like with me, if my parents hadn't been there, I think my depression or baby blues would have been a lot worse.
Yeah, having a support network is just so amazing, and like we are lucky too to have parents in the picture that were able to help out, and I don't know how people do it without a
I
support network.
don't.
I
I
mean,
cannot.
more
Like,
power
I
to
was
you.
just like, there's no way I could do this by myself. Like, this
Yeah,
is just a mess.
yeah.
Like, this is like, I was like, when can I take a shower? Like, like I need to go pee, but the baby's crying and I can't even go to the bathroom by
Oh, I
myself.
know. I mean, just the lack of sleep alone. I mean, when you're talking about all the symptoms, I mean, lack of sleep can be attributed to probably a lot of those. Even hallucination. You don't sleep for a couple
Hmm.
of days, you'll start hallucinating.
And I used to hear things, which is crazy. But
Yeah,
then I think that was just me being like overly anxious, thinking somebody's going to take the baby.
yeah, yeah.
So I want to like protect the baby. And I wanted, like, I still am like that. Like, I was going to try to get her to sleep in her crib, but I think I'm going to wait a couple more weeks. I'm not ready for that. Um, but it makes me nervous. She's literally right down the hallway, y'all. It's not like she's like far, far away. She's right down the hallway, but I'm scared I'm going to miss something, or someone's going to like be in her room and I didn't know. And then they take her and they sneak out the window and then my baby's gone.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I've realized that parenthood is just being chronically scared and nervous and paranoid. Like
I'm
even
like,
when
this
my
is why I drink. I will probably be drinking more now.
speaking of, should we just go ahead and pop that rosé open now?
Chris, we're not even going to lie to the listeners. We've already been drinking. We are like 3 bottles in right now. Um, if you do not know, every day between 3 and 6 at Hampton Social is happy hour, and they have half off bottles of rosé, half off certain liquors and beers, right?
I think
And
so.
then they have some food, but I wasn't even looking at the food. So
Yeah,
we're on our third bottle of the half off bottles.
we have other people with us, just so you know. It's not just the two
But
of us.
it's Chris and I and my husband the only one drinking. So it's really just Chris and I drinking.
No, Juliana's having some.
She's
Well,
having tequila.
not the rosé. Yeah. Oh, well, okay. So that was a pretty heavy topic there.
It was.
Anything else you want to say on that?
No, and like I said, if you need help, please don't be embarrassed or afraid. Please reach out to us and let us know if there's anything we can do. We'll be like happy to talk to you more about it. We'll be happy to do more research. I would be happy to do more research on like why this happens, like what triggers everything. Like we know why it happens because of hormonal imbalances, but like why some people are most susceptible than other people. And then the other thing I was thinking, like, if you've ever experienced depression or postpartum depression, please contact us, because then we can bring you on the podcast and you can give your story inside of the
Yeah, share
story. Like,
experience.
I just remember, this is my last story, and then I'm gonna let Chris talk in the rehab corner. But this was the scariest moment for me. Like, I remember it was at night and I just started crying. And my mom looked at me and was like, "Why are you crying?" I'm like, "I don't know. I just don't want it to be nighttime." And then I remember being like, "I'm leaving." And she was like, "Where are you going?" And I'm like, "I don't know." And she goes, "Are you coming back?" And I was like, "I think so." And I grabbed my purse, I got in my car, and I just drove. And I just kept driving until I ended up, of course, because I'm fat, I ended up at the McDonald's parking lot. I ordered some French fries and I just sat there and cried and ate my fries because I did not want to be at home with my family, with my husband, or with my baby. I didn't want to be anywhere near that. And then finally, I finished my fries and drove home. I sat in the garage for a little bit. And then I came back into the house and I dealt with it. Looking back on it, I think I was just very overwhelmed with everything that was going on. And nighttime was the worst for Elizabeth. She would not sleep, and all she did was cry at night because she did not want to sleep in her bassinet. And the doctor, the pediatrician, gave me a lot of pressure about sleeping in the bassinet and not to co-sleep. And that is hard because when she was laying in the bed with us, she slept 4 hours, maybe 5. But when we laid her in that bassinet, she screamed bloody murder. And I did not want to deal with that. So many nights, all I did was sit up in the bedroom with the TV on, watching TV with her in the bed with me. So she would go to sleep and I never slept. So like thinking about everything, I can see why stuff is triggering. I can see why it happens. I see why women just leave and don't come back. I don't blame them. Sometimes you just want to go and just be by yourself. And I just want people to know that this is all normal. And if you have a similar story or something different, call, let's talk about it and bring more awareness to the situation.
I'm sorry. It kind of reminds me of that movie with Will Smith where it's like zombie apocalypse and he's like in an apartment alone by himself in New York City. And at night, the zombies come out and they're like all screaming.
Yes. And you're just like, why?
He's just like in the bathtub covering his ears.
What was that movie?
I don't remember what it's called.
I can't remember what it was called, but I remember I liked it.
It was good.
Because of the dog.
Yeah, it was freaky. So after your French fries and your McDonald's parking lot experience, did you have a migraine?
No, I don't know what I did. Like I said, I came back in the house and took care of my responsibilities.
That's my attempt at a segue into the rehab corner.
Oh, well, then let's go to the rehab corner because I did not catch that.
It's all that rosé. So, okay. So migraines, headaches are triggered by lots of things. So some examples, there's something called cervicogenic headache, where the muscles in the back of your head get stiff and cause some pressure and give you a headache. Obviously, there's sinus issues, allergy issues. There's a lot of different triggers for headaches, but one that's not really talked about is your diet. So, you know me, I'm not big on the polyunsaturated fatty acids. That's where I'm going at. That means the vegetable oils. Okay. So polyunsaturated fatty acids and saturated fatty acids are kind of basically two categories of fats that we're supposed to ingest. They're both essential. We need them both, but in certain ratios. So we're kind of talking about the omega-3 to 6 ratio. So the linoleic acid is the omega-6, which is the polyunsaturated fatty acid that you'll find in vegetable oil, canola oil, corn oil, soybean oil, safflower oil, rice bran oil. There's like 8 of them. Anyways, we used to be closer to like a 1-to-1 ratio. That's our normal human diet. But over the past few decades, that ratio has been blown out of the water, something like a 20-to-1, with omega-6 being way higher. All right. So the problem with that is that these polyunsaturated fatty acids found in vegetable oils trigger oxidative stress. So oxidative stress is like if you see a banana turn brown or apple or a car rusting, that's all oxidation. It's just a chemical reaction. It happens in our bodies as well. So as you age, your skin might get those like aging spots, like liver spots, they might call them. That's oxidative stress. And that's just what we see. Oxidative stress can have like a cascade of effects on the body. It's part of why we age. And in fact, that's why, it's important to have antioxidants. It buffers the oxidation. So anyways, if you have a diet that's really high in these PUFAs, these omega-6 linoleic acids, you're causing chronic inflammation and oxidative stress to the body. And the problem with that is you have a nerve called your vagus nerve, which starts from your brain, goes down, innervates lots of different organs. And one of the systems that innervates is your gut. So the gut microflora, we're finding out more and more, is super important, and it's probably the root cause of so many diseases. But anyways, chronic inflammation can travel upwards through your vagus nerve. And they've actually done vagotomies, a removal of the vagus nerve, and stop this inflammation. But anyways, the inflammation travels up to your brain and can cause all kinds of issues such as Alzheimer's and brain fog, cognitive, deficits and dementia. But one of the things it can also do is cause migraines. So that's just one thing I wanted to point out. If you're eating a lot of fried food, like McDonald's fries, and you're getting unexplained headaches, maybe, cut that out for a little bit, see what happens.
Well, I don't eat that much fried food, so my main weakness is French fries. I will go ahead and say that.
I know they're tasty, but the problem here is that this stuff, it used to be like a machine lubricant. These seed oils are called. It used to be used for lamp fluid oil, basically lamp oil.
Oh, nasty.
Yeah, and it's made its way into our food supply, and now it's like basically in everything. So if you have something, you're eating something that's packaged that has a list of ingredients, check out those ingredients. It's almost guaranteed you're going to find one of those. Soybean oil, safflower oil is usually the most common. If you're eating fried food, it's usually cooked in canola oil. So this stuff is everywhere. It's even, I just like, unless you're getting organic peanut butter, it's in peanut butter, it's in hummus, it's everywhere. So it's kind of a sneaky little compound that does, massive damage to our bodies. And on top of all that, a diet high in these PUFAs can also lead to obesity. And what we found out is that a fat molecule is almost like its own endocrine organ. It actually secretes cytokines. A cytokine is a signaling molecule that triggers inflammation. So being obese will trigger chronic inflammation. So just another reason to cut out the seed oils.
I mean, you keep saying that, but we'll see. I need to do a little bit more research on that.
Oh, I can send you tons of research on it.
I'm sure you can, but I'm probably not going to change. Actually, I may change because I'm actually going to go see, which we will talk about that a little bit more once we pop open our next bottle of wine.
Two other things too. These seed oils can also damage your LDL molecule. That's sort of the quote unquote bad cholesterol, which is another thing that's a little nuanced, but that's the stuff that can really lead to plaques in your arteries. If you have a diet high in these polyunsaturated fatty acids, it will also worsen any kind of insulin resistance. So that's the pre-diabetes, basically. Diabetes is insulin resistance. So this is another molecule that will contribute to insulin resistance. So that's just bad. It's just a bad thing.
Oh. Well, thanks, Chris.
That
was very informative, but I probably will still eat these French fries. And I literally saw your hand in them too. So
I had a couple. All right, let's pop this next one open. All right, Bree, which one did you open?
Well, we just ordered, it's called Rider. So it switches, I guess, if they run out of the rosé. I mean, I know we didn't drink that many bottles, but this bottle we're opening is called Rider. It's a Pinot Noir rosé. Not my favorite. The first bottle we had, I wish he took the bottle away. Let me see if I can.
Yeah, let me try this one.
Yeah.
It reminds me like a Chardonnay almost.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm a big fan of this one.
Yeah, the one before was better. That Chilean one was good.
Yeah. Hang on. Let me see if he's not paying attention to me. It's, I guess like if he comes back over here, guys, I can probably ask him what the name of it is. But the second one we did not like. The first one we liked a lot.
Yeah, definitely. So. Well, we should tell them a bit about this place. We've been here several times. We're doing a brunch thing, a very late brunch.
This is like a dinner, early dinner.
Yeah, I had the braised short rib. It was delicious. What'd you have?
I was good. Well, not that good. We started off with oysters. Like we had what 12 plus 6. So,
18 oysters.
18 oysters we shared, West Coast and East Coast.
The cushies and the Duxbury's.
And then I ordered this lobster and brie kind of cheese thing. It comes with pita. And then I ordered a coastal salad, which is my favorite, and then a side of French fries. My husband ordered, Michael, what did you get?
Had some of the oysters and Caesar salad.
He ordered a Caesar salad with steak on top. And then y'all had what?
Juliana got the grilled octopus, so we shared that. That was amazing.
Was
We
it good? Because I've never tried it there.
Yeah, we always get octopus if it's on the menu, especially if
Okay.
it's not fried, which is kind of hard to find.
Yeah. But that's why I like it, because it's very like, it literally is a cute vibe. They had heaters outside for us yesterday or, today. And
They got the string lights and the green wall. I'm a sucker for both those things.
but like, it's just, I love coming here. They always have like a live person singing, and it's just fun vibes. So we come here a lot. Well, we did. They took my favorite thing off the menu. I stopped coming, and then now that it's back, I am back in action. So
shout out to Diana. She's a great server there. We've known her for a while. She's good friends with my wife. She does a great job.
And then like if you go on our Instagram page, I took some pictures, and then they have like all types of rosés. It's so yummy, and you can just get whatever you want. They even have a full bar, so if you don't want rosé, you can even get a liquor drink. But it's a fun little thing. They have a back room for private parties, and they're just very accommodating.
Did you know that lobsters don't die of old age?
I did not know that.
They have to be killed. Like they don't just die from being old. Something has to eat it.
Well, I'm sure we have killed a lot of lobsters, because I ordered that lobster and breed cheese dip multiple times. So,
but like, shouldn't we
lobster.
study lobsters and find out what's the gene that like creates longevity? I don't know.
We should pull that, because that could be the like everlasting life. There must be something they eat off the bottom of the ground.
So should we try to get one of our spouses on the podcast? We talked about doing some interviews. Juliana's saying no.
Not ready to talk right now. So, but no, we're still trying to figure out this year. This is season 3, which I'm so happy about. We made it this long. Y'all have been wonderful. Like, just let us know what y'all want us to talk about. Like, if it's more current events, if y'all have a specific topic that y'all are just like, this has nothing to do with physical therapy or medical, but I just want to know your opinion. Ask us, DM us, follow us on Instagram. Please listen to the podcast on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify. We are everywhere, which we're so excited that we are growing. But just let us know what you want, because this we decided, we had a set format, and we got some feedback from some people, so we're trying to change it up a little bit. So we're just trying to like figure out what y'all want to hear. If you want us to just bullshit and just drink wine and just shoot the shit and just like have fun, I'll be happy to do that. Or if you want us to talk about something specific, let us know.
Yeah, and I like to nerd out, so please email me any kind of questions, physical therapy related, nutrition. I love talking nutrition. I can go on for hours on that. So please email me specifically, chris@dynamicnaples.com. That's probably the best email for me. Or what's the other one, Bree?
For our podcast is poppinbottles239@gmail.com.
Yeah, either one of those will work. And yeah, I love to nerd out. So hit me up.
So excited. So Chris, we're out here, like I said, in this beautiful setting. It's so nice. The one cold day or night of the year in Naples. Let's look at, because I think it's like 52, 53 degrees out here.
Mm-hmm.
We were laughing because Chris and Juliana just got back from upstate New York, and they were just saying how it feels colder in Naples now than it did up there. And it was like 18 degrees.
It was 8 degrees.
Oh, well, never mind. 8.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I guess it's just we're not dressed the same, but it just feels different when it's colder. I don't know. It's like, I guess you're mentally prepared.
It's not supposed to be cold down here.
Yeah,
and that is why it feels different.
We went up there to go skiing. We were mentally prepared to be cold. Put on our Dickies and our Long Johns, and so I guess we were just prepared. That's all. But it definitely feels super cold out here.
And I was looking around. I was like, people are still wearing like flip-flops and stuff. Like, that's crazy to me.
Well, Ellie seems like she needs your attention.
Ellie just always wants to talk. She's a very sociable baby. She's just like her mom. So she's just like, let me see what's going on. Talk to me, love on me. I know, baby. So she loves being out and about, but we are actually about to leave soon because she has a very strict bedtime her mama has her on, and we do not play around with that.
That's good. I'm still working to get my kids on bed on time. It doesn't happen.
Do y'all hear her? Hang on. Tell everybody, hey. Say hey. Say hey. You don't want to talk? You're just talking up a storm.
Hey, Ellie.
Of course. Now she's camera shy. She's trying to act like she's all modest and stuff.
Just like our spouses.
Oh. So,
well,
Chris.
Yeah, good.
Is there anything else you want to talk about today?
No, I think I said it all. Did my vegetable oil rant, talked about lobsters. I'm good.
About lobsters.
Oh, I got a tip actually. That's the segment we could do too. Cooking tips. I learned this from this French chef. It's an awesome tip. So if you're like steaming lobster, the way to know that's perfectly done, like I cook a lobster kind of often, and I never use a timer. You can look at when the tail and the abdomen separate. That's perfect. That's where you take it out right then.
So when the tail and the abdomen separate, the lobster is good to go.
Yeah, it's usually like a tight junction, and you'll see it separate about a couple millimeters. It's very obvious. Then it's done.
Well, I probably won't be cooking lobsters anytime soon, but if I ever did, that is good to know.
There you go. All right, Bree, anything else you want to say?
That is it for me.
All right. This is Poppin' Bottles. We'll see
Bye,
you next
guys.
week. See ya. Do you have unexplained pain, or do you wonder just how healthy you are? When was the last time you had your blood tested? Blood chemistry analysis is a great way to stay ahead of any health conditions, and now you can have control of your health with Let's Get Checked. Let's Get Checked is an incredible company that sends blood tests to your home. You can choose from over 30 different tests, whether that's liver function, testosterone, micronutrient, cholesterol, or C-reactive protein, which is a marker for inflammation. It's sent to you with free shipping, and you get your results in 2 to 5 days, no physician referral needed. Use the code DPT30 for 30% off. Go to letsgetchecked.com and use the code DPT30.